Welcome folks to a different take of our normal 5-year rebuild. We're going to be doing a 1-season Infinite Glory challenge. And the reason for this is that I'm away this week and I will not have time to do a 5-year rebuild. We will be taking the reins of a Champions League team with a large budget in an attempt to win the treble, their domestic league, the domestic cup and the Champions League, where every game becomes a final. But before we go into our first challenge, may I take this opportunity and thanking you all for the support on this channel. It really means a lot and is very much appreciated. And if you haven't subscribed already, please consider doing so. It is free and it only takes a second, and it will help the algorithms as well. And also, if you would like to see more of these 1-season challenges, Champions League teams only, please let me know down in the comments who you would like to see take the challenge on next. So our first team to take on this challenge is Arsenal. They narrowly missed out on the league last season. They're in the Champions League and probably feel very, very much hard done by. They have got a favoured formation which we will be using. We will not be changing the formation in any of these challenges, which makes it a challenge in itself. To be perfectly honest, I'm not a fan of this formation. And as we can see, the last won the Premiership in 2004, the FA Cup way back in, well, a couple of years ago actually, 2020. So we got to win that, the league and the Champions League, which they have not won. So that's going to be another massive challenge for them. And to help us do that, we're going to change this transfer budget from £73 million to £200 million. And we've also added that into the overall balance just to reflect that transfer budget. So we've just picked the default 4-3-3 formation. This is a control possession, which I believe Arsenal do like to do. I mean, whether or not they've changed that now, I don't know. But this is their best 11 as picked by the manager. They've got Gabriel Jesus up top, Saka, Martinelli, Odegaard, Rice, Partey, Zinchenko, Gabriel, Saliba, White and Ramsdale in goal. With the £200 million budget, we can bring in better players who will join the club to improve this side of winning the treble. We will of course go into the January window as well if need be. So we'll simulate up to the 1st of January and then we will simulate thereafter to the end of the season and see where we finish. And hopefully we may not need to improve the side in January, but we shall see. So these are the transfers in and out, and as you can see, there is a lot of money going in and out. But just to be clear, we are using a updated database that can be found on the FM23 website from Notorious, which shows you all the ups and downs, relegations, promotions, and ins and outs of transfers up to and including the 20th of August. So we'll start off with the transfers out first. So we'll start off from July onwards. We let go of Tavares, who goes to Hoffenheim for £20 million. Pepe goes to Lazio for 24. Reece Nielsen goes to Brighton for 17.25. These players are not going to get any game time in this one season. If this is a 1-season challenge, we want to release players, get money in and bring better players in if we can, especially players that are not going to get any game time, I don't think. Lokonga, which I believe is a really good prospect as well. I was really unsure whether to let him go or let him go out on loan, but Dortmund came in with £70 million. We said yes. Thomas Partey goes to Newcastle for £75 million. Yes, please. We let him go. I think there are better players out there. A few players going out on loan. Cedric, I think he was 30 years old, goes out for £6 million to Vigo. Leon pick up Nikishia for 18.5. There's a couple of others. Kiwa, I think another youngster. I think that's why Dortmund have got him as well. £14.5 million. And I think that is it. So going on to the transfers in, we bring in Matthias de Ligt from Bayern Munich for £87 million. He was our first signing. We wanted a strong centre back, and at 23 years old, I think we have got him. I think he's a lot stronger than what Arsenal have at the moment, and he just looks sublime. We also bring in Ungati from PSG for £52 million. Now, this was a gamble. We are playing the DM role, and because we got rid of Thomas Partey, we wanted to bring in another one, and he has got, he's very tenacious. So that's what I did like about him. His mentals and physicals look pretty good. And he's only 21 years old. But I am aware we have got Declan Rice that can play in that position as well. So we'll see how it goes. See if he gets any game time. But £52 million, quite excessive. But 21 years old as well. if he comes in, he can definitely do a job for us. We also bring in from Porto for £64 million, Mehdi Taremi, a forward. This chap was definitely a gamble, but again, look at that bright green he's got there. First touch is pretty good, finishing's not bad, dribbling, physicals are okay, mentals look superb as well. He has been scoring goals, so we wanted somebody else as a backup really, although we have got Havertz that can play up front, and unfortunately we didn't let go of Havertz, despite the fact we're not using any cam players. Kovacic was another player we brought in, £63 million from one of our rivals, Man City. Can sit in the midfield. If Declan Rice drops back, he can come in and fill Declan Rice's position in the centre of midfield, or he can play defensive midfield as well. So we've got a ton of players, good ones as well, that can play in that position. And finally, we bring in one more player. We took an injury to Martinelli. He's out for 5 months. We had to bring somebody else in, and the scouts came up with Marcus Rashford. Now, I'm not sure whether he would move to Arsenal in real life, but because it's Football Manager and it's only fantasy, we decided, yes, okay, we're going to bring him into Arsenal. And already 3 goals in 5 games and playing at 7.74. Superb replacement, I think, for Martinelli. And then once he's back, they can battle it out between them. We have got £20 million left. So if we do need anybody in the January window, we can go out and see what we can do. The formation is what it was. Only this time I have changed the wingers to inside forwards. I think the players that we got, like Saka, Rashford, they can cut in, they do the job for us. I mean, they can play up front as well if need be. So I thought that was a bold move by myself, and we're changing this from a half-back from the default to a ball-winning midfielder on defence, which suits our players even better. And we start off with a 2-1 victory in the Charity Shield, which was very, very unexpected. I did expect to lose this game. Maybe it's because we took Kovacic off Man City. I don't know whether that was the case, but Man City do take the lead as early as the 40th minute, but we do fight back. De Ligt with a wonderful header from a cross from Odegaard to equal things up late on, and then in round about the 79th, 80th minute, we get the winner, Jesus, running through on the through ball and slotting past the goalkeeper for our first trophy of the season. It was quite an even game, actually, to be fair. 8 shots to 3 we had. We did have 7 fouls to their 16, so they were getting pretty frustrated by looks of things. And possession-wise, pretty even. Passes, not too bad either, and we're both covering the same sort of distance as well. Following that, we played Manchester United at Old Trafford, and we smashed them in the league. 3-0 De Ligt, getting us off the mark early on, and then a couple of minutes later we get another one with another through ball over the top with Rashford helping Jesus onto a freebie there. He obviously didn't want to score himself, but then to finish things off with a corner, Saka running onto it, Odegaard playing it out wide to Ugarte, and what a strike from the DM role there. So a 3-0 win there, totally outplayed them. That's exactly what I want to see. A good return for Rashford, I feel. And then we take on Liverpool at home. We beat them 2-0 with Jesus and Rashford scoring. Luton we win 4-1 at home again. 2 goals for Jesus. Rashford on the score sheet against and Taremi in the 94th. Brighton at 2-0, Kovacic and Jesus. And then Fulham, our last game, was Marcus Rashford in the 6th minute. So currently we are lying top of the table, 5 for 5. Champions League, we've got Feyenoord, Young Boys and Galatasaray. All due respect, we should get through this group. We've drawn Aston Villa in the Carabao Cup, which we're not really interested in, but if we win that, all well and good. And we did win a friendly cup competition as well. And just have a look where we're predicted to finish. 5-1. Second favourites to win the league. Man City, obviously favourites, evens actually. So we could push them to the limits once again. So what we'll do now, we'll simulate the first half of the season and maybe dabble in the transfer window yet again. Right, so we're at the halfway stage. We bring in one more player, and that is Deo Upamecano from Bayern Munich for £70 million. We sold a couple of players to bring in this chap, and I just thought we just needed somebody a little bit better at the back. He wasn't available before. He was available this time round, surprisingly enough, and yeah, we had a massive bid for Saka as well, which we did turn around. I did have a replacement just in case, but he wasn't needed. But Upamecano comes with playing with Bayern Munich. He's had quite a lot of success. Brilliant stats. Physicals look fantastic. And he's still got room to grow as well. I think he's going to be a massive addition to the side. But to fund this transfer. We got rid of, where are they? There were a few down here. Jorginho's gone to Barcelona for £30 million. He didn't get any game time up until January, so we'd let him go. El Neni as well, he's gone to El Neni. Again, he came back from injury, didn't really feature. £8 million, he's gone as well. I think they were the main two, so an additional £40 million to the pot, as well as all these other small ones as well. We messed around with the wage budget a little bit to increase it up to £70 million, and that's why we got him in the end. So Upamecano and De Ligt at the back, together with White, Zinchenko, Ramsdale. We've got Kovacic and Rice. I guess they swap over, although Kovacic is injured currently. Odegaard is still there. Saka, we nearly lost him. I'm glad to see that we haven't. Havertz is considered our best striker at the moment, which is amazing. So well done to him. Jesus has got 20 goals, Havertz 5, 19 for Rashford already, which is fantastic. So a very good addition is keeping Martinelli out. He's currently injured still. 11 days to go before he comes back. So it'll be a nice little contest between him as well. The Premiership looks like this at the just over the halfway stage. We are lying in third position currently, 3 points off the leaders with a game in hand. Although Chelsea have got a game in hand as well. And goal difference is going to be very, very tight as well. Liverpool not far behind. The FA Cup, we entered at the third round. We beat Wolves 3-1. I think that's after a replay as well. The fourth round, we beat Sheffield Wednesday 5-0, and we have drawn Birmingham City in the fifth round. So all going good guns there at the moment. The Champions League, we did top our group as expected, but we did lose one game, which was to Young Boys 1-0 away from home. That was a surprise loss. Galatasaray win 4-0. Young Boys we beat at home 4-0. Feyenoord we beat twice, and Galatasaray again. The round of 16, we have got Porto, so that is next to play. Unfortunately, we haven't got any leading goal scorers in the Champions League so far. Rashford is the best player of the Champions League so far, and he's got the most assists, so we just want goals on there, please. Haaland's got 6 goals together with Isaac, Harit and Wittner as well, with Bruno Fernandes of Man United. They're in joint 5th with Osman. So let's now go and simulate to the end of the season, and fingers crossed we can bring all 3 trophies home. The challenge is over. We have won the league, the first leg of our treble, on our way to infinite glory. Champions only by 2 points though. We lost 4 games unbelievably enough, but scored 89 goals. I think that's the most in the league, and only conceded 28, which is the second least. So I'm really happy with that. We beat Man City to the title. We could have thrown it away last game of the season with a loss there. So looking at some of the results then, we did have a good run even to the end of September. We beat Spurs 2-1. We do take our first loss to Chelsea. Then we lose to West Ham. We do have a 5-0 win over Forest in between time. There's a few draws that could have really messed things up for us. A draw with Everton at home, surprisingly. We beat Sheffield United 5-0. We have a very, very good run after losing to Chelsea for a second time. Surprisingly, they were nowhere near us actually, but we beat 4-0, and then we go on for a run from beating Newcastle 3-1, Liverpool 3-2 at Anfield, draw with Man United at home but beat City away. That's probably sealed the deal for us as well, and then we go on a long run with 9 games straight wins with a 7-0 battering of Burnley there, and only 2-0 at Luton beforehand. Did we beat Luton before at home? 4-1, okay, but 7-0 against Burnley though, with Saka getting a hat-trick, Jesus with a brace, and De Ligt with a brace as well. Wow, but Fulham away. In the last game of the season, we totally got pummeled there by looks of things. But that's not a bad result for the first leg at least anyway. So let's go and have a look at the FA Cup. The FA Cup was won by Fulham. What? Excuse me? But they beat Chelsea in the final, so there's no FA Cup victory. But where did we finish? Have a look at the semi-finals. Oh, we got to the semi-finals. We did lose to Chelsea 2-1, unfortunately. That's very unfortunate. But Fulham, on the other hand, they battered Liverpool in the other semi-final 4-1. So probably on a whole, they did deserve to win it after beating Liverpool by that score. Wow. So the group stages, we know that we finished top of our group, and think we went on to play Porto in the next round. But just have a look at some of the other results as well. Barcelona, Milan, Real San Sebastian, Dortmund, bow out in third place there. Manchester United and Lazio in that group. United are unbeaten. Newcastle fail. Real Madrid and Napoli go through. Man City and Atletico in that group. Bayern and Sparta Prague. The round of 16, we did beat Porto. In fact, we pummeled them really 6-1 on aggregate, with Lazio, Napoli, Dinamo, PSG, Real Madrid, Manchester United and Manchester City all going through as well. Real Madrid beating Sparta Prague 11-1 over the 2 legs. Ouch. And we bow out at the quarter-final stage of the Champions League. Just not enough in the tank. PSG beat us 4-2 overall with a 3-2 second leg win. Napoli beat Lazio 7-2. Man City bow out to Manchester United 3-2 overall, with Man United winning 2-0 in the second leg, and Real Madrid go on to the next round as well. Let's have a look at the semi-finals then, just to heap more misery on ourselves. Real Madrid absolutely pummel Manchester United 7-2 over the 2 legs. I think that's a 6-0 second leg victory at Real Madrid. Wow, they've got to be disappointed considering United did take a 2-1 lead with them. And PSG get to the final, beating Napoli 4-2 as well. If PSG win the Champions League, then I won't be so hard done by, I think, losing to the eventual winners. But it is disappointing to bow out at the quarter-final stage, though. So the final then, who won it? It's yet to be played, actually. Let's move on to that game and find out who actually won it in the end. And it was PSG that won it in the end, 1-0. Wow, okay, I've got to be happy with that, I guess. Not happy that we got knocked out, but we did lose to the eventual winners, so I can't be too displeased. But 1 out of the 3 isn't too bad, I guess. Let's have a quick look at our squad then, see how well they each did. Jesus, 31 goals, 27 for Rashford, which isn't too bad at all, actually, with 15 assists. Saka, 20 goals, 13 assists, even better. Havertz even got some game time as well. I was a bit worried about Havertz, I have to say, but he must have fit into the formation pretty well. 10 goals, 9 assists. Odegaard, 14 assists with 8 goals. I mean, we did reasonably well. Kovacic even got 7 assists. Also, Ramsdale, 41 goals conceded in 50, which isn't too bad, I guess. I mean, everybody got some game time, which is good to see, and quite a lot of goals. I mean, assist-wise, yeah, Fabio Vieira as well, getting 10 assists. Wow, where did he play? Right, well, he got 5 games, and he did an awful lot of damage. Wow. Nice person to have as a backup then. That's superb. How about some of our big signings that we did bring in? Martinelli, how did he do? 6 goals, 4. So he didn't really get much game time after his long injury. Obviously, Rashford superseding him. Taremi, how well did he do? 4 goals in 2 starts. That's not bad for a backup. Ugart as well. How did he do? He played 46 games, actually. 4 goals, 1 assist. Upamecano, how did he do in the second half? 22 games, 1 goal, 1 assist. De Ligt, 6 goals. Fantastic. I mean, all the players we brought in did reasonably well. Declan Rice, how well did he do? 5 assists. He only played 28 games, though. Zinchenko, 6 assists. I mean, overall, it's a pretty solid side. I'm sure there are a lot better players out there that you could potentially bring in. But this is where we're going to leave it. Thank you very much for watching. If you enjoyed this quick 1-season glory challenge, please let me know down in the comments if you would like to see more of this. Let me know also who would you like to see next if this is the sort of thing you're interested in. There have to be a Champions League team in order for us to do the Infinite Glory challenge with their domestic league, Cup and the Champions League. And also let me know in the comments as well with that team who you would like to see in that team, and we'll try and get them in as well. If you haven't subscribed already, please consider doing so. It does help the channel an awful lot and it's very much appreciated as well. And until the next rebuild stroke challenge, thank you very much for watching. Thank you.